guys are playing at Viper Alley in Lincolnshire tonight. And now that I introduced you, Noah, I'm going to bring this up right away. I've seen you guys more times than I can count. And the first time I went, I said, "Who's that guy?" I didn't know that there was a singer. Yeah. I thought you did it all.
Yeah.
And actually, it's funny because just roaming the halls, there were a couple other people that said, "I went on YouTube and he has a singer."
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny. People are so surprised. I mean, I guess, you know, we can kind of understand it. But also, I mean, you look at, like, the history of rock and roll. I mean, look, Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen's not the lead singer.
Right.
Carlos Santana, Jeff Beck. You know, the list goes on and on. Frank Zappa. There's plenty of guys that have had really big careers in rock and roll and had other guys singing the vocals and the guy just concentrated on the guitar. And, you know, I step out and sing a little bit. I mean, on the fourth record, The Place You're In, I sang lead vocals on a lot of that record. And we just finished mixing a new album that's going to come out this summer.
Awesome.
And Noah and I are sharing a lot. He's singing most of the lead vocals. I sing lead vocals on like 2 songs, but we kind of approached this new record differently where, you know, we're kind of doing a lot of vocals together, you know, on a lot of songs, and it works really well. It's a pretty cool sound.
Awesome. So how long have you been on the road with this tour?
Well, we're just kicking it off, actually. So we're doing, because we just finished mixing, like, literally yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Flew here, and then the mastering process begins next week, and then we have to, you know, build up, you know, the release of the record and get all the artwork straight and everything. So that's going to happen over the next couple of months. So we're just kind of flying out and doing some preliminary shows and getting our stuff together, and, you know, we got to do some rehearsals and stuff. And then the tour will begin this summer, and we'll take it probably for the next year and a half.
Awesome. I know you're definitely a guy, especially starting so young. You've spent probably a good half of a decade on the road, or probably more at this point.
Yeah, when Noah joined the band, you know, on the second record is when he came into the band, and we hit the road, man. We were on the road for like 5 years straight almost, without much of a break. So
Now, I mean, now being married and having kids, are you taking some more time off to spend more time at home?
Yeah, you know, you try and balance home life and professional life, and you know, my family's definitely a priority. So what we try and do is, you know, I mean, the bottom line is we put a lot of work into our new album, and so, you know, we've worked over the past year on it. So you don't put that kind of effort into something to not go out and work as hard as you possibly can for it. So we just try, like, the way we like to approach it is we hit the road, and we like to balance it where, like, you know, we'll do like 4 or 5 weeks out on the road, and then come home for a week and see the family, and then go back out. And then also, you know, when we're out on the road, it's a very family-oriented atmosphere anyway. So, like, you know, if my family wants to come out and, you know, for any part of the tour, they're welcome to come out. You know, Noah and the other guys, if their people want to come out, you know, we welcome that.
Cool. So for being so young, you're definitely very, very accomplished. And one major difference between you and a lot of other guitar greats is that you're completely self-taught.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk a little bit about that process, how you started and how you continued, and how you are playing the guitar the way you are today?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I just played by ear. When I was a kid, you know, I had those when I was a kid, there was like these kind of grocery stores. There's kind of like a general store, and they had they had these things called S&H green stamps. I don't know if they had that stuff up here. Did they? Yeah, lots of people remember that. And so, like, you know, you would buy, like, however much money you'd spend, they'd give you these green stamps, and you'd fill up these booklets, and then when you collected enough stamps, you could come back in and, like, trade the stamps in for, like, free stuff, right?
Okay.
And my grandmother used to fill the stamps booklets up, and she would take me there and, like, get me free toys and stuff. And so, I mean, they had this toy, like, plastic acoustic guitar with nylon strings, and I must have gone through probably 100 of those things when I was a kid. And I actually learned my first notes on one of those guitars when I was probably like 3-4 years old. But I got my first electric guitar at age 7 and started really getting serious about playing guitar. That was when I got to meet Stevie Ray Vaughan for the first time when I was a kid, and watched his show from the side of the stage. And from that point forward, I was just like, all I wanted to do was play guitar. So I sat at home, and back then, you know, that was before CDs came out, and so I would have a cassette, or my dad had a huge record collection, and if I was like had a cassette of a song I wanted to learn, I would hit play, and I would hear the first note, and I would find the note, you know, and then I would rewind and hit play and listen to the first and second note and find put those two together and just do it like one note at a time until I got through the whole song.
Wow.
And it's kind of a tedious process, but it works for me. So.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are live here in our studio, and we'd like to get a couple of songs out of you. So what would you like to do for us first this afternoon?
We want to do a song from our live record that we just put out not long ago.
Great, and it's live in Chicago,
Yeah.
House of Blues. So that hits home for us here, right?
That's one of the songs that Noah actually suggested that we do in the band.
Yeah, it's a song that I used to play in situations like this when I used to pay the bills playing, small clubs 5 nights a week with the acoustic guitar. It's an old, Muddy Waters.
He made it famous.
Yeah, I learned it from him. It's called King Bee.
Yeah.
I'm a king bee, baby, buzzing around your hive. I'm a king bee, baby, I'm buzzing around your hive. Yes, I can make you honey, baby. Just let me come inside. Well, I'm a king bee, baby. And don't you want to be my queen? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm a king bee, baby. Don't you want to be my queen? Well, I can make you honey, baby, like the world ain't never seen. All right. I can buzz you better, baby, when your other man is gone. And you come see me, baby. Woo. I can make you honey, baby. Just let me come inside. Oh.
All right, 95 WIIL Rock, the Rock Station, live in Studio East with Kenny Wayne Shepherd. We are going to take a quick break, come back on the other side, chit-chat a little bit.